got my Sega Saturn way back in 1996, a year after the console had officially released in Europe. It was because this was the first console that I saw Tomb Raider running on down at my local game shop. Because, as I like to remind people, the first Tomb Raider game came to the Sega Saturn first. Seeing Tomb Raider for the first time, man, that game just blew my mind, and I simply had to have a Sega Saturn. Also because I was still a big Sega fan back then, coming off the Sega Mega Drive, and nope, I never got a 32X or Mega CD, so I didn't feel that Sega sting back then, although I got to play them around my friend's house who had both those consoles. So I finally managed to get my Sega Saturn on the Christmas of 1996, because I was still a young man, living home back then, and I begged my mum for that console, and you know what she said to me?
Hey man, I got 5 kids to feed.
But my mother is an angel, and she got me what I asked for, a Sega Saturn along with Tomb Raider, and not only that, it came with a demo disc, and on that demo disc was a playable demo of Panzer Dragoon 5. Still to this day one of the best shoot 'em ups ever created, in my opinion. The demo on the disc was of a forest level, where at the end you fought against a giant mechanical running boss, which also at the time looked absolutely stunning, and I still personally think it looks stunning today. It's just simply epic. It was here that my love for Panzer Dragoon series started. When I later snapped at Panzer Dragoon and Panzer Dragoon 5, both physical. Sometimes I think that Sega were at their creative heights with the Dreamcast, but put their output on the Dreamcast next to what they were trying to achieve with the Sega Saturn, and you start to see that the Saturn was, in my opinion, Sega at their true creative height as well. As some of you might know, Panzer Dragoon 5 and Panzer Dragoon Saga have remained true Sega Saturn exclusives, never officially ported to any other platform, unlike the original game, which got a PC port and also a port on the PS2, part of like Sega Ages, I believe, and you could also unlock it in Panzer Dragoon Auto, which released for the original Xbox. So people who experienced Panzer Dragoon 5 and Saga have been begging for these games to be ported to modern platforms, so for obvious reasons, as it's not like you can just jump on eBay and easily snap up a copy of, say, Panzer Dragoon Saga, as it goes for hundreds of pounds or dollars, but I'm not going to get into that history now. What I want to talk about is my own personal fear of these remakes, because like with many gamers and their favourite games ever, they can hold a very special place in your heart and transport you back in time to a very special era. And ladies and gentlemen, the Sega Saturn series of these games hold a very, very special place in my heart. If you don't know by now, the Sega Saturn is my second favourite console ever made after the N64, but it's without a doubt that it was Panzer Dragoon 5 that formed that unbreakable relationship, and a relationship that became ultimately sealed with the release of Panzer Dragoon Saga, which still to this day I could say is my favourite gaming experience ever, even though I actively say Breath of the Wild now takes that spot. So where does my fear lie? Why am I nervous that Panzer Dragoon 1 and 2 are finally being remade, with a modern engine? I should be excited, right? And don't get me wrong, when I first heard about this, I thought I was dreaming. And if Panzer Dragoon Saga was confirmed to be getting a remake as well, I probably wouldn't be able to talk in this video by now because I would have died from a heart attack. I'm nervous because of this company. Because the Sega of today is a mere shadow of the Sega of old, and not only that, these remakes are being done by a company I know very little about, which means I have very little trust in them. And what I don't want is another Streets of Rage 4 incident, where a cherished and true AAA series is given another chance, but also given with the remake a safe visual update, where it's one of those rare AAA games that I feel truly deserve AAA treatment. And we saw that recently with their HD releases of Shenmue, and how what they were working on before Sega was actually much better than what was actually released. Apart from they obviously gave up halfway for whatever reason. Knowing Sega, it was most likely money. We know Team Andromeda won't be there because that studio was disbanded and merged into various other Sega studios like Smilebit, which also then re-merged with Sega under Sega Sammy Holdings, which became a mismatch of old Sega studios essentially. So without the focus from Team Andromeda, who's left? What about the original director, Yukio Futasugi, who last worked on Crimson Dragon for the Xbox 360, I believe, but was also quoted saying that he hopes it's a success and allows him to work on a HD version of the original game. Is or will he be on board? For this for these remakes? I haven't, because we haven't heard anything yet. I'm speculating, but that would give me some reassurance, I suppose. What about the original composers? Will they be coming back to help update the music? Because the music to this game it's unlike any other. And I've also already uploaded Panzer Dragoon 5's OST onto my channel, which leads me into Panzer Dragoon Saga, where we recently had the composer Shiori Kobayashi release a CD and vinyl remaster of the Panzer Dragoon Saga OST, which I've also uploaded onto this channel. So give that a listen if you want. Forever Entertainment are supposedly working together with Sega Holdings Co. Limited, to create these remakes, where they state that these remakes will have modern engines, modifications to games, making it more attractive to modern gamers, which scares the crap out of me. Whilst ensuring that the story remains faithful to the original. So it sounds like these are completely brand new games essentially, and I'm not sure how I feel about that. We saw what Bluepoint Studios done with Shadow of the Colossus, and how games like Crash Bandicoot and Spyro the Dragon have remained nearly 100% faithful to the original games, which having a nice graphical update. And it's this that I want to, it's what I want to see from these remakes. But I just don't trust Sega of today to get it right. And if they get it wrong, we'll never see remakes again of these games. I can assure you of that. So this to me feels like a once in a lifetime opportunity to show the world what makes the Panzer Dragoon series Sega's best and most must-play series ever, in my opinion.
Crumb.
Please let these remakes be everything that they should be. For this series' history, for my faith to be restored in Sega, and mostly for me and my undying love for Panzer Dragoon, a series that everyone should know about and should play. And I've always said that Panzer Dragoon Saga still to this day is one of the best RPGs ever made, right up there with Final Fantasy VI, Chrono Trigger, Terranigma, or any great RPG you can think of. Panzer Dragoon Saga sits up there and in my opinion beats most of them. So yeah, here's hoping that these remakes are good. This is just a quick news update I wanted to do. I got a big video that I'm working on that I'll bring in the next few days. Just a lot of stuff to edit, so stick around for that. And as always, thanks for listening. Leave any comments below, and yeah, take care and all. Peace.